For the first time since World War II, the country's borders were closed, emergency powers had been enacted. You know, it's an echo of what France and the free world faced 70 years ago against Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. You know, the greatest generation met that challenge. Now recounted in a new book about one B-24 Army Air Force bomber, a very special symbol of our American spirit. That book is called Nine Yanks and a Jerk, the incredible saga of one of the most legendary planes in the U.S. 8th Air Force, flown by Major James M. Stewart, that's Jimmy Stewart, and the air crews under his command in World War II. Joining us now is Scott Culver, the author, who is in tribute wearing a uniform of an Army Air Force, whose father was. And Scott, welcome. Clearly a very meaningful story for me, because that airplane, Nine Yanks and a Jerk, was a B-24 Liberator on April 12th, 1944. My father was the pilot of that plane. He was shot down over Belgium. Two of his crew members were killed, radio operator Fred Catrone and tail gunner Marty Clabo. And your father, Henry Culver, was flying next to my dad.
Yes, that's
in
correct.
formation and saw the plane get hit.
Yes, that's correct. My father witnessed the whole event unfold as the German fighters attacked their squadron. They had just turned back because the mission was recalled, and the German fighters jumped them right over Belgium. And my father witnessed the shoot-down of your father in the plane with Nine Yanks and a Jerk.
Your father and my father, both deceased now, we are the younger generation, not the youngest, but the younger generation. Do we have it in us, do you think, to face radical Islamic terrorism and the threat and the challenge and the killings that we are now seeing unfold in the world, just like our fathers dealt with and faced
yes,
the Nazis?
I believe we do. I believe the American people do have it in them, just as our fathers rose to the challenge of meeting the Nazi threat. And our fathers, your father and mine, flew with Jimmy Stewart, who also rose to the challenge. And just as that generation rose up, I believe this generation can do the same.
And it may not mean, boots on the ground, although some are calling for that. It may not mean something that's massive. We're already seeing airstrikes today by the French against Raqqa, increasing that. And we do have in harm's way right now our own Air Force crews over Syria and Iraq conducting airstrikes at this moment. Do you think that will win? I mean, we defeated the Nazis. We put that in the ash heap of history. Do you think eventually we can win what some have called a clash of civilizations?
Yes, absolutely, we can win. We have the ingenuity, we have the know-how. We just need to take a firm stand on this issue, just like the leaders did with all the Allied nations during the Second World War. And I make that point in the book that as World War II began to unfold, our leadership got together as Allied nations and they planned a strategy to defeat the Axis powers. And the opening pages of the book deal with the Casablanca Conference, which really unfurls the strategy to win the war in Europe.
Look, there's a conference today. We saw the picture of President Obama and Vladimir Putin kind of going tete-a-tete together in two chairs in Turkey today. Do you think this is the beginning, that we are now seeing the beginning of what's been talked about, but hasn't really fully, completely been achieved? There is the meeting. Look at that remarkable photograph. I mean, is that FDR? You know, and Stalin, or is that Churchill, or is that Obama and Putin? Putin on his hands may have a Russian airliner bombed and downed by ISIS, and we have had radical Islamic attacks in this country. Do you think this could be the beginning of a modern-day Casablanca and a modern-day coalition NATO effort to finally take out ISIS once and for all?
Yes, I believe that it could be, and it's my hope that it will be and will continue to be what needs to be done to counter this threat. Just as our allied nations had to deal with the Nazi scourge across Europe, the same has to be done with the ISIS threat across the world. And it really is a clash of civilizations, like you said, because we are facing the survival of Western civilization here. And who knows to what degree we're going to have to face it.
And to end on a lighter note, the book is called Nine Yanks and a Jerk, because, you know, they used to paint things on airplanes, right? You know, they had girls and they had names. Do we know what the name of that, who the jerk was? I mean,
right.
It wasn't my father. I mean, do
no,
we know
it wasn't
the story behind that?
Yeah, as best as I can tell from my research from two different sources, the plane was named as an inside joke by the original crew who named it. There were 9 Northerners and 1 Southerner, and apparently the Southerner received the butt end of the joke. But that was the inside joke for the crew.
Right. Well, that plane was shot down on April 12th, 1944. I have pieces of it in my home, and they are all heroes. And the men and women who are above the skies of Iraq and Syria today, they are heroes too. Let us always keep them in our memory and remind us of their sacrifices. That is a photo of you in the field in Belgium where the airplane finally crashed, and where Marty Clabo and Fred Cotrone lost their lives, and where my father, thankfully, was saved by the Belgian resistance. And may we take the resistance and what they did as a goal and a mission for the rest of us in the free world today against terrorism.
Yes, we can learn many lessons from what our fathers did, their generation, and our allied friends in World War II.
Scott Culver, Nine Yanks and a Jerk. Thank you for joining us on the Fox News Channel.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.